We particularly like this shot because of the silhouette of Blake, which is a common convention seen in film noirs. There is a horizontal division or contrast of low-key, high-key lighting too, another strong convention of film noir. This shot will look even more vivid in black and white. We also feel that the windows and architecture of the train station represent the film noir convention of Venetian blinds. However, we have filmed it in a more modern way, exemplifying how our film noir is a recreated contemporary version of typical film noirs. We were lucky enough to be allowed permission to film in a taxi driver's car, the black cab, which is a symbolic attribute to London which people worldwide can associate with. We didn't actually use this shot, but if we had done, it would have been even stronger if we had a match-on-action shot of the taxi driving away from Blake's point of view. Here we use the macro prime lens to obtain the shallow depth of field. We like how it accentuates her femininity by showing her hand seductively glide up the banister. It's a crisp, sharp, professional-looking shot. We also made sure to concentrate on using manual focus during filming, so that we had all control over what parts of the image we wanted in focus. Here we switched the focus from her face onto the clock slowly, to represent both the passing of time and the direction her eyes are glancing. This shot works really well with the chime sound effect we're going to add. This was probably our most favourable shot. After spotting a puddle and having clear skies, we were able to get a really strong reflection of Blake walking towards us and then eventually physically appearing in the shot. Reflections are a common convention in film noir. I think this shot will be really visually enticing to the audience, and it also stresses her femininity, as her body is fragmented by the male gaze theory of initially only seeing her legs, with then the camera slowly moving up her body. The footstep sound effects also heighten this, as people often associate the sound of heels clipping with women. Here we used a few random shots which act as point of view shots of Blake as she travels around London. We didn't use these shots as we felt they didn't offer quite enough interest or allow the narrative to develop forward enough. We really like this overlay reflection shot because it acts as a metaphor that her identity is being concealed by the window, the passers-by, the cars driving past, the building reflections, and the light and the lens flares. Again, this is another shot with strong visual aesthetics. We thought of this shot whilst actually on set, and we are so pleased with the outcome. It really emphasises the fact that Blake changes both her identity and her appearance to Mia, and the post is an illusional prop allowing us to convey this swap of identity. These were filmed in a backstreet in London. We wanted some fill shots to show her walking and her looking over her shoulder, conscious that she is being followed, i.e. the audience knows she is being watched by the private investigator. Among the busy Oxford Street, we felt it was an apt location to portray the busy London life and show Blake among the hustle and bustle of crowds. We found a vibrant large advertisement with words on such as Call Me and Love London, which we felt were appropriate for our narrative, and it also stresses the contemporary themes of our film. It also enables the audience to watch the film through Stuart Hall's encoding and decoding theory, in that the viewer can interpret and understand the message that we're trying to portray in their own way. Here we did another lipstick shot. Again, it shows her femininity, how she's changing her appearance to adapt her identity, whilst also showing typical London business in the background. In the studio here, we used barn lighting in the photography studio, and feel this has really made such a difference to our shots. It reinforces the high-key, low-key convention, whilst making it look as though the husband is under interrogation as he is being asked personal questions about his wife's disappearance by the private investigator. When we originally scripted and storyboarded this scene, we had additional intentions of using the lighting to portray that the husband is in a police interview room with spotlights on him to add tension and pressure on his stressed state of mind. It could also serve as an enigma, as the audience begin to perhaps wonder whether he is the reason for her disappearance, and questions whether his character is entirely morally truthful and good. Therefore, he has conventions of being the shady, morally corrupt everyday man that most film noir male characters are. Here we use a chair with wheels on to act as a makeshift dolly. We felt this turned out rather effective, and with some image stabilisation in Final Cut Pro it could look really slick. We couldn't use these shots in the end due to continuity errors, as we filmed in the studio twice, once without the PI and once with. Therefore the PI wasn't present and the documents on the table were different, thus making the continuity between our newer shots broken. We also experimented using a flash gun as we were in the photography studio. We wanted to create sharp flashes similar to those that I analysed in the Adidas Silver YouTube trailer in a previous blog post. It informs the audience that something bad is about to happen, and it connotes thunder and lightning and his current state of mind. I like these two shots here where we use the binary opposition theory to show the difference in personality and state of mind between the husband and the PI. The husband's hands are tense and shaky, which portray his worried and frantic state. The PI, however, is calm, stable and logic in his thinking process. Here we were able to position the barn light higher up to create this backlit silhouette type image which looks really effective against a black backdrop. For a small fill shot we had the idea that the flick of her coat past a brick wall would look effective and signify a point of view shot of the husband spotting Blake run or hide away. This was an unplanned shot where I just decided to see if I could create a moving circular pan shot simply by holding the tripod and swaying it. It actually turned out to look good, and we just had to add image stabilisation in Final Cut and it looked much smoother. The camera movement also connotes the idea that it's a crime scene and policemen are looking over her. This final shot was an angle and location we used when making our music video last year in AS Level Media Studies. The high angle is a conventional film noir camera shot whilst also showing Blake's loss of power. She looks isolated, alone and vulnerable, which is exactly why we use this shot type.